Hey yo.
We're doing. Welcome to the vlog.
Welcome to the family vlog.
She's purring. Oh. She's climbing on daddy now too. So welcome. It is March. Crap. 7th? 6th. March 6th. It is. Crap. 8:41 p.m. 2022. 23. I know time. Oh, Mary. If you want to jump around, I do time codes. You can look for gaps in the timeline down there. Oh, careful on the flesh. Thank you, sweetie. You can jump around or open the description down there. You see a big list of blue numbers. You can jump back and forth, go to whatever you want to see, skip what you don't, or use it as a placeholder if you watch this over multiple days, because I know they can get long. Today, we are definitely doing some pretty cool cooking. We have a great cocktail, lots of movie reviews. We're doing a taste test. I got a vinyl unboxing. I'll talk to you about Last of Us. I guess a music update. I don't know. Actually, there might not be a music update because it's been a little bit slow. I'll do a short one. Okay, so let's get to it because we need to go watch a movie, so I need to finish a couple segments of this vlog. So let's cook. All right, so as of this moment right now, I don't 100% know my full plan. I just have some ideas. We'll know a little bit later exactly what, if we're going vegan or what we're doing, how we plan to do this. It's 4:11 p.m., March 3rd. We're gonna go ahead and start working on some black beans because we're gonna do refried black beans. The current debate is once we get to that, am I going to make them vegan or not? And if I'm not, am I gonna do the trick where I mix in some chorizo and use the chorizo fat? Because that's kind of what I wanted to. But I know we kind of been on this vegetarian vegan kick lately, and I realize I am doing this on a Friday where Mary, for her dietary reasons, is doing Lent, so she's not eating meat today. So I was like, well, if I do keep these vegetarian or vegan, she can get into some of the refried beans, even if it's not a huge favorite. Probably also doing some crema, some guacamole, things like that. So, and I got a cool cocktail idea. But anyways, we gotta get these going. So if you watched last time, it's pretty much the same thing. We're gonna get these in a pot. We're gonna sort them. We're gonna rinse them, bring it to a boil for 2 minutes, let them sit in the pot for an hour to soak. And then we'll come back and simmer them for like an hour to cook them. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. So let me get you a little angle here. I'm still having my coffee, but that's why I figure let's go ahead and get this party started. Some severe weather out there today too, so trying to do a little pantry clean out cooking. Get out these split beans. I don't know if that one's a problem or not, but better safe than sorry. We can always take a few beans out. Not going to be hurting. Now, I know I am doing these in a non-stick pot, despite the fact we'll be using some metal utensils to do the refrying, but I'm going to refry them in a different kettle or pot, because this way I can still have the option later of, is this going to be, you know, vegan or not, or vegetarian at the very least. And I might make rice instead, I don't know. I've got ideas, it's just, I know I'm gonna need beans, so I wanted to get started on those. So we're gonna do the quick soak. We're gonna rinse and sort the beans in a large pot. Then we're gonna add 8 cups of hot water, bring to a rapid boil for 2 minutes, remove from heat and cover and let stand for an hour. We're gonna drain and rinse the beans after that. So that's where I'm saying we're getting a little bit different than before. So it says what? Well, we gotta rinse them first, right? Rinse, yeah, so let's do the rinsing. The sink back here. I don't know how good an angle I can give you, but just gonna get some water in here. Get them all nice and wet. A little bit of water above them is what I like. Let that water start warming up. now. It's not very good. My little halfling. Yeah, we'll put you back down here. Water's almost hot over there. My big boy. I'll get 8 cups in there quickly. Hot water. Interesting that this says 8 cups, you know? 8 cups of hot water. Yep. Get another 8 in there. Let's go ahead and bring the heat on. Pretty much at high. Boom. Keep this around, we'll need it later. Okay. Make sure it's over the heat good. All right, try to bring this up to a rapid boil. Now do we cover? Let's see, add 8 cups of hot water, bring to a rapid boil for 2 minutes, remove, cover, and then let stand for an hour. Okay. Lid out and ready. A lot of the recipes today will come out of here. Some stuff is from other places, some stuff's just versions. I'm enjoying my coffee and I'm flicking the bean. I'm flicking the bean, baby. All right, so now we play the waiting game. The waiting game of bringing to quick boil. La 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 la. Cannot get suddenly Seymour out of my head for some reason. Randomly enough, it popped into my head for the first time like a week or so ago. And then later that night, a band I love, I went back and listened to a bunch of their stuff and I discovered Giant Dog is the band. I discovered they had a cover of Suddenly Seymour. I was like, well, that's some interesting synergy and it is awesome. I am gonna look into making maybe some kind of rojo or something. I wouldn't mind if I could make some kind of red sauce, but I don't know if I have all the ingredients. I'm trying to cook without going to the grocery. And the more I think about it, the more I might make this vegan. So then I'm also curious, do I want to make some nice rice? You know, I'll cook up some chorizo on the side. You can always have me some delicious tacos this way, avocados. I hope my avocados are still good. I think they're mostly good. I think one of them at least has a spot that's a little extra mushy. But we'll see. We're just gonna make what we can make with what we got. My pickled red onions probably are past their prime, but since those typically need to sit overnight, I'm gonna go with them one more time. I also found I have a jar of pickled habanero up there, which could be fun for me. And if my tostadas are still, if they're not stale, I've had them a long time, but they were never opened, then we'll do them on tostadas. Otherwise, we may just have to do tortilla things or something, or burrito somethings, or maybe I take a crack at actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Frying some tortillas and making tostadas. Look at all that extra starch. I didn't quite rinse off my beans. We're almost to a boil here. Now it does say roaring boil, bring to a rapid boil for 2 minutes. Well, I mean, I'm trying. Almost there. Oh, it's 65 out. If it wasn't super windy, it might not be bad to have a window open. Oh. But it is, yes, as Mary said, in fact, super windy. Sir, this is the Super Wendy's. Come on, baby. I see you trying to start boil. Let's make this happen. So I can go on and get finished and cleaning up. So I can come back and cook this while we make I definitely think I'll do the Chipotle crema. I guess I could do a cumin crema. There's also a cilantro lime vinaigrette. It's basically cilantro, lime juice, and mayonnaise. But I think I would do that more if I was gonna do some kind of salad, which I was gonna do, but I found out pretty much all my leafy greens are pretty gone. Unfortunately. Thought about doing a chickpea salad, but I don't really have enough stuff for that. Yes, this is such a rapid boil I'm getting to. So I used hot water. Maybe what they meant was go ahead and boil some water off to the side. I mean, theoretically, I could have rinsed these. I guess maybe that's what I should have done. Is I should have had 8 cups of water in here and like boiled it, and then rinsed the beans in a colander or something, and then, you know, right as this hit the boil, get the beans in there. That may be the smarter way. Maybe going forward in the future, that's what I'll try doing. Because I feel like they wanted me to already be at a boil here, but Peter's not around. That was a bad joke. That was really all. That's a big. It would have been funnier to say Danny's not here. No, it wouldn't have. How's everybody doing out there? You tipping your waitstaff? It's starting to get to the boil. Also, I'll tell you this, when we cook this, we're gonna put more water in there than it says, because every time I do these, I'm always having to add water, so. Because this again says 6 cups of hot water when we get to the cooking. But it's like, and that's it, oh, Jesus, that says 1.5 to 2 hours. Oh, I wish I'd started this sooner. Didn't know this is what I was gonna do. Love you too. Come on, man. I see you trying to slow boil. Hey, Chicky Jack. Whippy. You got it. Killed it, buddy. Good job. I don't know how well you could see that. I tried to lure him over where you could see him, so. Hey, buddy. Like, seriously, can you please boil so I can start my 2-minute timer so I can finish this segment and, you know, get on with my afternoon? But yeah, man, if I made some rice and some beans, I have some canned queso. One of these days I'm gonna make some actual queso. Or maybe I don't even need that, man. A little rice, little bean, little chorizo, some crema, some guac, some pickles, and a burrito. There we go. We're finally getting a boil happening here. All right, Echo, set timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
I brought the heat down, but I'm gonna leave it up. We're gonna watch this though, watch it like a pot. I don't know. Just don't want it to boil over, since it's only 2 minutes. So we're keeping it on high until we start seeing it get too foamy. I'm starting to want to come over. Within 2 minutes, we might be fine. It might not do that. He says as he sees it starting to want to do that. All right, we're gonna go down to medium high. There we go. Now the boiling action's moving the pot around a little bit. Nice. Okay. Now I've never done refried black beans. I've done pintos, of course, and I think that was in a video. Granted, that might have been back on the Patreon days before I was putting them on the main channel. Do. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. That's not quite right. Suddenly Seymour is fucking your butt. I don't know the words, but I will keep singing, and I will keep singing, 'cause I am nuts. Named Eric Butts. All right, we're almost there. We got about 20 seconds left, y'all. 20 seconds left. I got like that much coffee left. I think you can kind of see. All right. Oh, we're in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted too fast. All right, off. Lid on. Slide away. Echo. Set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
All right, I'll be back then. All right, listen, I haven't quite showered yet. There's about 5 minutes on the beans till we get it simmered. It is crazy wind out here, and we're getting power flickering, so I'm trying to do some stuff in case. Luckily, we got gas stoves, so we should be okay there. If the power goes out, I just don't know how we'll be able to light. I do have mobile lights that are charged. Anyways, we're gonna do, we've done this before. We've done something like this. From Trejo's Tacos, I usually make the avocado crema. But I'm gonna do a different one this time. I'm gonna do a Chipotle crema, and I'm gonna half his recipe because that's what I have. The actual recipe is 2 cups of sour cream, 4 Chipotle chilies from a can of Chipotle chilies and adobo sauce, plus 2 tablespoons of the adobo sauce, juice of 2 limes, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. So it's gonna be pretty easy to half all of that, especially because this is all the sour cream I have, and hopefully this is mostly full, because that's like 8 ounces, which theoretically that's a cup worth. And you know, we got the adobo, Chipotle peppers and all that. So let's make that and see if we can blend it in a NutriBullet before we run out of time. Also, at some point, that alarm should go off and we should get onto the thing there. So ignore this lime, it's just bad. I just need to slice it and put it in the compost. And that's why I kind of got it out. But we're gonna juice our lime here real quick. And there we go. Get our little handy dandy juicer. Now the real trick for me right now is most of everything I wanted to make, we can still make. I'm a little concerned since the power has been flickering about getting the rice cooker going. Because I feel like that's something that if it gets interrupted, it might be a problem. Might be a waste of a whole bunch of rice and broth. Since I like to do mine chicken broth and such. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how we feel. We'll need this for later because I'm definitely gonna make a cocktail, I believe. That will involve more lime juice later. Okay. And we don't actually need to cut any of the chilies or anything. The blender will do the job there. So let's just get them open. And of course, we will definitely have some leftover. So we'll put that away somewhere eventually. Alrighty. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab my thing here. I think that's the wrong blade on the bottom. I'll have to dig out the right one. And let's get a sense, do we actually have a cup here? The good thing is this, ooh, I used a lot of that. But let's see. A little under 2 minutes on the timer there. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use a half cup and I can scooch in here and work this a little easier. Got the spoons? Nope, those are forks. All right. Now let me mix this up a little bit. This really does take some getting used to. Okay. Yeah, we're kind of light on ingredients here. So that was like about half a cup. Well, it is what it is. So I'm just gonna scooch the rest of this out and with a spoon. It's not gonna be quite a full cup, so I'm gonna have we'll go a little light on the other stuff basically. Get out as much as we can here. Come on now. Come on now. Okay. Another spoon, spoon. Gotta spoon the spoon, you know? Yeah. Come together with your hands or something. Come in my hands, something like that is how that song goes. Pretty sure it's about cuddling after hand jobs, I think. You can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Echo, dismiss timer. We'll get those beans warming up here in just a second. I guess actually we need to do the rinse and all that stuff, so. I do feel like, hey Jack, what are you doing? Daddy doesn't even have any real food out yet, buddy. Like I said, I'm trying to get every bit of this I can. All right. Actually, he may smell the sour cream now that I think about it. Yes, I just wasn't thinking straight at first. All right, so let's go back to the beans real quick. Get those going because it's gonna take a second. So, cooking directions. All right, so we got to drain and rinse, and then we're gonna add 6 cups of hot water. I'm gonna add 8 cups of hot water because I always end up having to add a couple extra cups. All right, so we got the strainer that I'm pretty sure will fit everything. Stuck to it. All right. That smells good. It's still pretty warm too, so you can get out of the way. Good, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Ooh, look at all that bean juice. Looks super tasty. Every bean out for themselves, come on. All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and let's get the water hot. And put 8 cups of hot water in there and let that start warming up while we kind of rinse the beans out here. Yeah, it's definitely, you can see a lot of, when I first started rinsing, a lot of black water coming out. This thing is just barely big enough to do the job. Maybe I should have used a colander. There. Back over here. Might as well rinse some dishes out while Okay. So we're going to do another 8 cups of hot water, even though it says 6. And we are going to end up needing to drain the beans again anyways at some point. Oh God, why am I doing cold water? I'm an idiot. Well, that's all right. I know with our new plan, we're in there, get the heat going. Woo! Lose some knuckle hair. Sound of the sirens because stuff was getting pretty real out there. It does, at least for now, seem to have calmed down quite a bit. So we might actually be able to, I might feel confident starting some rice here in a second. So we're gonna let that warm up. Then we'll get the beans in there once that water starts getting hot. So then we want to what? Let's go back to this. All right, so Here's all of that. It just said, you know, I'm still gonna use a whole juice of lime juice because I like lime juice, so I'm not too worried about it. Set that aside. I believe I'm looking for 2 chilies and a tablespoon. Yeah, 2 chilies and 1 tablespoon. Make sure I get really good chilies though, size of ones. Oh shoot, I should, sorry. 2 chilies about like that size. And then I need a tablespoon. And I think it's gonna take some salt, so let me get the salt in there first as well. All right, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Oh, that's teaspoons. So we'll get the salt in a second. We need a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna get a tablespoon of the adobo liquid. Trying not to bring extra peppers with me. I guess we'll go a little light on that just because we are a little light on the sour cream. Okay. And then a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of salt helps the vinegar go down. All right, go a little light on the salt. All right, keep that because we're gonna need it in a bit. All right, so that should be all that. Let me get the correct attachment here, hopefully. You. Yes. Aha. And we'll get this blended up here right quick.
Jack.
Water is getting close to warming up.
Jack, get down from there.
Yeah, on the stuff you can.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Jack, get down.
Alright. I will be with you on camera in just a second. I'm plugging and unplugging things over here. Okay. All right, we're waiting on the beans, but let's go ahead and get this blended. Loud noise, kids. It says to do it in a blender, but I feel like this will be faster and more consistent. We're gonna give it another run. I just want to turn it around and kind of swirl the bottom, get some of this extra sour cream involved. Nice color. Here we go. Loud noise, kids. We're probably gonna give it one more time. I'm just gonna let that drain down for a second. And then, let's see. Keep that over there. Trying to make some room to do the things we might be possibly doing here. Rice cooker. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some ingredients together for the rice cooker. I don't have everything I need right now. All right, we'll have that ready to go. That's almost ready. Still waiting on this bean water to come up. So we're gonna cook the beans. We made the crema. We'll get some rice going. And then once the beans are, whoa, there was a little flicker. Maybe I should still be concerned. So I'm gonna do, let me grab some stuff. I'm gonna do the brown rice, chicken stock things. Let me get it out. Assuming I have enough left. Otherwise we got some other options. Ooh. I don't know. Yeah, probably. More? Oh, shit, I got black beans up there. I thought all my beans were somewhere else. Okay. Maybe I should have cooked those beans, huh? Alright, so let's see, we're over here. Whoa! We're gonna hold off on the rice for a minute.
Go make it in the car.
No, I joke because I have an AC outlet in my car. It's like we can just go plug up the rice cooker out there. Now let me blend this sucker one more time while we still have the power. Oh, Jesus. Never had that happen before.
What's that?
Hopefully it didn't get too down in here. It actually kind of came out, the seal didn't hold.
Oopsies.
Luckily it was only just a tiny spot there. Huh. That's a new one to me. Guess we're done blending that. Interesting. Okay, well, anyways. We're able to get that done. Let me grab a thing to put that in.
It's in the deep fridge,
Dude, I'm in the middle of film.
I know. That feels very nice.
We'll go with this one. Wait, is this one that's here? Yeah, okay. Got a little fun bottle to play with here. We'll come back over here though. Oh, I can smell the Chipotle. I think it's coming out of the can, but I'm smelling that. You smell what Eric's cooking. Okay, I'm gonna say that this water, by the way, is hot. Let's go ahead and bring this down. So let's get these beans into the water. We're gonna probably need this again. We ain't gonna put it away yet. And we'll let that warm back up while we deal with this. I should probably get a funnel. Aye. Ball spoon. Damn it. Funnel. Where's the other? There are only two. There are 3 funnels. Oh, that looks really nice. To look into why the seal did not keep on this. We'll give this a taste here in a minute. Sure, it's fine. Probably should taste it before I actually get it out of this thing, but. Not gonna be able to get all of it out, but we're gonna get a bunch of it out. Hear those beans working, so soon we'll get this up to a boil so we can bring it down to a simmer. And again, as we go along here, plans may change, but I think we are going to we're going to be making beans that are not vegetarian or vegan, but in a way that Mary can still eat them today. But also, I will tell you what to do if you do want to make them I guess vegan. It's pretty simple. Basically, we're gonna be using chorizo fat to cook our onion and everything in. You just use vegetable oil instead. Okay. All right, now let's taste this. Smells good. Mmm. Mmm. Oh yeah. Mm. Yeah, creamy, little heat, little chipotle, little of the tart from the lime. I like that. There we go. We have a chipotle crema. Mm. That's gonna be really good with like tacos. Okay, come on beans, we gotta get you going here. So let's see, what else can I do? I can put away some stuff while we wait on this. So maybe, oh, there's one, okay, good. That'll be just right. And I will do something awesome with these in the future, hopefully. We'll also be hopefully cleaning this out better. Yeah, I really should have got the like better cooking camera out for this. I didn't realize how much I was about to be doing. That's right, this works. Y'all can still see what I'm doing. It's just seems a little nicer otherwise. All right, this way this can go in the fridge. So you can get rinsed out and recycled. Okay, what else? Still waiting on these beans to come up, bringing that heat up. Put this puppy away. My NutriBullet mixer. Didn't want to use the big food processor because, you know, the overkill. But I really could use like 1 extra inch in that cooking space. Or that place where I put that. I have like oils in there and it's like, I just need like that 1 extra little inch of a space. A little tighter than I like it. Okay, so we're still gonna deal with some chorizo and some guac. I guess I could work on the guac while I'm still waiting. And see if we're gonna be okay with that. I'm just kind of gonna do my own little thing here. I'm gonna kind of go sort of by a recipe, but also not. You know. Wait, does he not have a guac in here? I thought he did. Cheesy bean dip cocktail. He might not. I'm just trying to remember how much like lime juice I should use. Basically, 152. Okay, he does have one in here. So he's using 3 avocados. I've got maybe 2. Half a small white onion, that's a lot. I don't need that much. So I really want to finally chop up some serrano or jalapeno. I'll use the cilantro. Oh shit. Do I really want to make guacamole? Now I'm like, I don't know. So I should probably juice a lime. I'm gonna have to chop up that other cilantro for this. And a little bit of pepper. Already got some onion done. So, okay. Set that all aside. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge. Along with this, just get this out of the way. Guess we will go ahead and grind. Okay, this is getting close to where we can get it going to a simmer. Looks like I should have gone longer actually on the timing. All right. There's another lime here to juice up. Tough boy, and I did not do a good job splitting that. All right, this is just about to come to a simmer, so we're gonna basically, I guess I could have put the lid on to bring this up. All right, so we got a little bit of a boil. I'm gonna start bringing that down to a medium. We want the lid on, but like tilted. We'll keep an eye on that so we get a consistent simmer going. Here's my juicer. Yeah, this is a bit more of a tough boy. I probably should have rolled this one around a little bit more. Bring that down. Echo, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour.
And if the power,
Starting now.
okay, and if the power goes off, we're looking at 6:45. Jeez, is that? I did not get much juice out of this fucking thing. We might actually grab another one and juice it. Because hold on, we're also gonna do this. My lid here is a little clogged. Yeah, I think we should honestly juice an extra one. Because I can just kind of go to taste. I got like 4 more hours of this wind advisory. And that is more of a boil. Let's bring that back down to the simmer. I'm about just over medium low for us. Yeah, this lime fucking sucks. Let's go get a better one. Oh yeah, this has more give. Oh, that is still a boil. Let's take that down to under medium low. Nope, too much. Split that difference. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. Get some real lime juice now. Ah!
No.
Well, that's a new failure. Son of a...
This went sideways on you?
Yep, and the lid came off and pretty much all the lime juice spilled out. Luckily, I do have more limes and should have enough limes. But damn, that is very...
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. God damn it. I mean, I guess as far as it went, it could have been a lot worse. So it's not terrible. Could have been a much bigger mess. All right. Yeah. All right, where's my biggest bow I have? You are my biggest bow. At least I got 2 more after this one, so. Which is good, because I hope to make my cocktail tonight, which will involve more lime. Let's bring this back up. That simmer is a little less, you do want a gentle simmer, but that was looking a little too light. Okay. All right, a little more careful this time. I had the same thought. Get out of my head. Get into my bed. Get out of my head. Get into my bed. Such good singing. Excuse me. Okay. All right, can we succeed this time and not fuck everything up? Okay, that seems better. Although I definitely have more compost in there than I intended now. Set up a cutting board situation. Well, I guess the good news is I'm gonna have most everything done except the chorizo and the refried beans before by the time I get out of the shower. Theoretically, I better stop jinxing myself. And hopefully some rice, although I don't necessarily need the rice for what I'm doing. I just figure it might come in handy later if I want to make burritos or something. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I realize I should probably skip the rice unless Mary just wants me to make it. Okay. Also, I just realized, how am I gonna mix my guacamole? I guess I'll do it in a bowl. I still need like a mocha latte or a mocha latte. That's not right. It's like a freaking pestle, mortar and pestle. But it's a specific thing. I almost bought one once and I didn't, and now they never restocked it. So, all right, so we're just gonna do it into a bowl. Okay. So first things first. About how much cilantro? Did he actually say a whole bundle? My wind's picking back up too. 4 tablespoons of chopped fresh cilantro. Well, you know what? I might be able to get away without having to chop. I'm using that as a guide. Because I want to keep some of my chopped cilantro for my actual dish. But I think that's a good deal more than 4 tablespoons. Like, that's probably a healthy tablespoon right there. And honestly, too, gotta remember, yeah, that's fine. Okay, good. Gotta remember that his recipe is a different amount than mine. I'm gonna have to dice up a little pepper, though. A little peppery action. I want jalapeno, or do I want serrano? We'll do, I don't know. Onion. Where's my onion? Here it is. Onion. Plus serrano, sure. And we got those avocados. Those avos. Yeah, I wasn't really fully prepared for all this, so I got stuff all in my way. And then he says about how much onion in his version. Again, I'm using this more for reference. It is about half a small white onion. 3 avocados. Just gonna maybe a little bit more. That's probably plenty. Okay, I will have to get a little serrano chop in here. So he said about half a serrano. Mary might partake, so I don't want to go too hot. That's probably fine. Well, I only got an onion in there. Don't know how that happened. I guess I can use a small knife. I don't need to get out the kitchen knife for this. This might have been a mistake though. Maybe I should have actually gotten a proper knife out for this. You know what, we're gonna change knives. That's not gonna work. Use a little paring knife maybe. Whoa. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing I'm not starting a rice. And if anybody out there is worried or whatever, we'll be fine without power. We have tons of battery backups, charged lights, flashlights. We got cars with AC outlets, plenty of gas. It just screws up some of our, and you know, hell, even entertainment, we can watch on iPads or whatever. It just, you know, might make doing this video a little harder. might not get to do the rice, which again, not dead set on it. The more I've thought about it, I certainly don't need the extra calories. Now granted, I may make it for myself later, tomorrow, something like that. So I can use some of these leftovers for a burrito or something. This is also partially why I thought maybe I should go ahead and get some of this stuff done now, just in case. Luckily the temperature is just about right out there too, so we'll be okay without heat or AC. Well, because when the stuff glitches, it resets our modem and our Wi-Fi. And you can't always judge by the Wi-Fi signal, because just because there's signal doesn't mean we're getting service. Like maybe the modem is down, even though the Wi-Fi is not.
Oh yeah, it's red.
Yeah. We got unlimited data plans on the 5G. I'm just saying, we'd be good. All right. I don't know. That is a good question. You can always hotspot your phone. All right, put these back away. There. Don't make fun of me. Trying to not be sick no more. I had a little bit of a head cold recently. I'm all good though. Okay. So I think what? We need avocado, some salt, and some lime juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you, sweetie. You're talking out loud. He puts olive oil in his. I'm not doing that. Teaspoon of salt. I'll do a little less. Okay. So wait, let me see. Let's now for the moment of truth, which I guess I'm using. Yeah, which I guess I'm using my big knife anyways. Still not great at judging avocados, but I got these when they were super firm and then let them sit here and ripen a bit. And I can definitely tell at least one spot on one of these is pretty mushy, but hopefully the rest of it will be okay. Okay, big knife coming out. By the way, if you want to taste that cranberry, you can. It's got a little heat, but it's not terrible. Again, it's like all the sour cream should kind of calm it down for you. Oh crap. Oh crap baskets. Okay. Well, that's fine. It's salvageable. Let's go ahead and open up the other one now. Is the nut compost? Avocado seed?
Nah.
Okay.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it will.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, you can grow it.
Hell yeah, let's grow avocados.
They did not to actually produce fruit. They didn't be one of the regular household plant at that point.
Nah. This one too, huh? Ooh. Ooh. Well, we're only gonna get what we get, I guess. A lot of that is surface, luckily. Okay.
I didn't know if you needed to throw more stuff in there.
I don't know. Sorry, you're. Okay. Guess I'm not sure if this will work. All right, let's see what we can get in here that's gonna be okay to work with. As you can see, like this is one of the better ones. Let's go get some of the. Woo! Get some of the rotty stuff just out of the way here.
Oh shit. Apparently my peanut butter is separated.
I hindsight. I should have saw how much avocado I had to work with before I put all this in the bowl. Because I'm not going to get a lot out of here.
Dang, this is supposed to be no stir, and damn, this is separated the fuck out.
Oh no.
Best used by February 2023, so it should be okay.
Yeah. Trying to just salvage some extra if I can here. This is not going to be the best guacamole in the world, everybody, obviously.
It's just a tribute.
You are clever.
I have my moments.
You do. Alright, let's see what we can work with here.
I mean, this is like shit's starting to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Getting all the sirens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how well they can hear it all, but it is like crazy siren show out there. Oh man, no, this is not good. Well, we're just gonna do what we can with this and see what happens. If it's awful, well, then fuck it. We'll just get rid of it. Did I throw? Oh, I threw that away in there. Whoops, my bad.
Now the actual avocado.
I know.
Can,
Yeah, I know. That's what I just realized. I accidentally threw one away. I didn't intend to. Okay, that part's just.
I mean, the stuff you're scooping out can probably also go to the compost.
Well, I can't. Not as full as it is, and as surgical as I'm trying to be. I can't make that work this time.
Okay. God damn.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh!
No.
Motherfucker!
How did you even?
I don't
Can
know.
you rinse it off?
I can scrape off the back because it landed. Hey, Jack.
I probably.
You're probably okay. God damn it. What is. Jesus, man. What is my fucking problem today?
I think you have a classic case of what we like to call butterfingers.
Apparently. Should I just eat some fucking butterfinger? Call it a day.
Or at least.
Right? Yeah, apparently. Why? Because
You can't cook when you're angry.
Yeah, you drop all the foods when you're hungry. God damn it. All right, well, probably should use a clean fork for what I just did, but whatever, too late. All right. Well, let's see what we get. Let's pinch a little salt in there. Hit it with most of the good chunk of this lime juice. And let's get to mushing. Yeah, I'm glad we moved a bunch of stuff out there.
I moved a bunch of stuff.
Well, I was sick and couldn't move, man. Actually, I guess that was last night. I was drunk from dinner. I was drunk from the Azure dinner.
Yeah, you are drinking stuff.
Well, somebody gave me all their wine portion. You know, honestly, this is... We got there too early. All things considered, this is not looking terrible. It's definitely more cilantro heavy than I would have maybe intended. Luckily, I love cilantro. Sorry for those people, Melissa, that can't. Okay. Let's give this a little to taste, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like the internet's back out.
It's okay. It'll work. All things considered, that will work.
Yay!
So we're gonna cover that up, get that in the fridge. Definitely a little off, but not awful. It may be a little off, but it's not off full.
Ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right, let's see. Where can I fucking put this? The next question. Shit. Fuck. Maybe it has too many soft goods, taking too much room, or I can't stack stuff.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you know, like the quiche and the pancakes are taking a lot of horizontal room and leaving a lot of vertical room that can't get used.
Well, can you put stuff underneath the quiche?
No, I couldn't put that under there. I could probably do other stuff though. You're right, now that you mention it. Okay. All right, we got guac, we got crema. Beans are working. Still don't know if I should try for rice or not. Got a little leftover lime juice. Doubt that's enough for the margarita, but maybe. Let me work on cleaning this up.
He has been a messy bee.
Yeah, more than usual. We've already got, you know, pickled red onion. We've already got cut cilantro, or chopped cilantro. We're gonna hope my tostadas are not stale, but I bet you they are. The kind of luck I'm having today, so I'll probably have to do them in a soft tortilla. Good Lord, Eric, 5 words. Now I'm even drooling. What the?
I think we have tortilla chips.
Yeah, that's not exactly the same. I don't necessarily want to make nachos. I mean, I could. Not the worst idea. Except it is the worst idea, because that's a lot more calories. Okay. All right.
Apparently I need the microwave.
Better get it while you can. Whew. What is that stank?
What?
Maybe that's just wash your hands or something. It didn't smell like food. It was like,
I washed my hands in the other bathroom.
I know. No, I know. I walked. Oh my God, I wasn't actually complaining.
It's hard to tell with you. All your complaints is sound the same.
No, you just assume I'm always complaining. Because 90% of the time I am. Oh. Okay. Alright, we got like 37 minutes on the beans still. Let's see. Is there anything else I can do in the meantime? Unfortunately, taste testing all this stuff has made me hungry for it. So then it'll just be cook up the chorizo. Set that aside. Saute the onions in it.
Transfer away.
Beans in, some seasoning. Yeah, so I think all that comes later. And I was thinking about making a rojo, but I think I've got enough, man. I don't need to overdo it like I do. All right, so that's all we're gonna do for now. I'll be back in like 30 something minutes. All right, so you may have caught this before. I set my timer wrong before because these are actually supposed to take an hour and a half. I reset it. It's got a couple minutes left on that timer, but I just tested them. They're very tender, they're very delicious. So we're gonna start working with what we do next, but we do still need to deal with the beans. So let me show you, and I did not get the new camera. Oh, by the way, I took a shower. And if you like this shirt, you can have it too. But by the time this vlog comes out, you might wanna give it another week because I am changing who does my stuff. And if the new place is gonna work, I'm waiting on some samples because this is nice, but the new stuff will hopefully be nicer, but it'll definitely be cheaper. So, in terms of price for y'all, but hey, cool beans, man. Okay, so, okay, let's get rid of this lid. Let's go ahead and take the heat off. And then I don't know why it came down. We're gonna have to come back, we're gonna have to strain, oh, I know why. Before we drain the beans, we wanna reserve some cooking liquid. So, because we may need this to thin stuff out later. So I'm trying to get this without getting, yeah, I don't know if there's really a way to do this without, okay, I know what to do. I've already dirtied this up, but whatever. I'm gonna set this bowl in the sink under here and try to catch as much juice with the strainer as I can. So basically I put the bowl under the strainer so we can reserve some cooking water, basically. Okay, I can already tell I did move that real quick. And now we can actually just drain the beans. Echo, dismiss timer. Come on. Come on, stragglers. Those stragglers ain't coming. Okay, there we go. It has our beans. They can just sit there. I don't think I'm supposed to rinse them. But the next thing I want to do is we're going to get, now, here's where we're going to be a little different. I do need to get some water in that pot for it. So, I'm kind of half-ass following various recipes. I've only made refried beans once before. They were amazing. Did the pinto beans in traditional with lard. Today I'm going to experiment. But also, if you want to keep this vegetarian or vegan, don't do the chorizo. And instead, you're just going to use like a vegetable oil or an olive oil and do your onions and everything in that. And then everything else is pretty much the same. But it is going to take me a little bit longer because we're going to cook up some chorizo. We're gonna then use a slotted spoon, get that chorizo out into its own bowl, leave the grease in there, then we're gonna cook up some onion and garlic. Some recipes put hot peppers in there. I'm not gonna do that for this. Got a little bit of seasoning to do, a little cayenne, a little cumin. The recipe for Danny says sweet onion, but since I've already got a bunch of white onion together, I'm just gonna go with that. And check out the sweet garlic that I need to clean up a little bit, but this is kind of older garlic, but we're gonna mince it instead of using like actually mincing. We're gonna use my favorite handy dandy tool. So the first thing I'm gonna do then, let's bring you down here. Let's get this pan heating. Come on, Blaine, thank you. Got us on a medium high. I'm gonna clean this garlic up a little bit. We don't need these nubs. And then I saw there was a bad spot on one or two of them. So I wanna get that out the way. Why I put that over there? Just so we can have these ready to go when the time comes. Plus I'm going to use this particular thing here to cut open my chorizo. So okay, this is the one that has a definite bad spot. That's good enough. A little bit here. There we go. All right, compost shoot fly boy. And yeah, we're gonna use a plate. Well, we're gonna use this to cut on. Actually, you know what? Since I barely use this, I'm putting this back away. Might need it for something later. Because what I've learned is it's good to go ahead and cut this open and get this so I don't spend so much time trying to squeeze it while some of it's starting to overcook in the pan. So get it out of the packaging first. And this is a pork chorizo, as I usually work with. I know, very, very attractive. Some sexy, sexy meat. You know, I've had some dinners where the next day, and the putties smell it, and Mr. Nappy Man is like, oh, Daddy's cooking. Maybe he'll drop something for me. I'm like, sorry, bro, I don't know. Okay, now with chorizo, you don't really need oil or anything. It's gonna, it's going to create its own. It's got plenty of pork fat there. So we got a good look on it. Just want that pan a little warmer. Got the garlic ready. I guess we can, well, we're not to the beans yet. Once we saute the onions, we'll worry about putting together our little spice mixture. Those beans do look really nice. And I don't necessarily need to make the whole batch of beans, but honestly, I might as well. And if I wanted more of a kind of bitey bean to eat as black beans, I really should have cooked those less, but they're good for mushing. Very mushable. There we go, we got a hot pan. Fun trick if you didn't know that. And I'm going to want my musher. My favorite spatula. From Spatula City! Spatula City! And in the chorizo goes. Well, shake. And let's just start rolling around, mushing to town. Scrape this up so it don't burn too quickly. Once the oil gets in there, this will be a little better. Now I know this pan looks like overkill for this chorizo, if that's all I was doing. This pan is definitely overkill. I probably could have put a little squirt of oil in here. But once this starts, here we go. We got some grease happening now. We'll just kind of deglaze from the pork fat. And yeah, it's starting to come up much easier now. Sorry to get a little bit of crispy bits, a little bit of burny bits. But I am trying to avoid too much of that. Which is also partially why we've gone to stainless steel now, because also I know how I'm going to finish the beans in this pan. And we need a metal texture so we can do some scrapage. All right. All right, it's starting to get juicy enough to not be too much of a problem here. And honestly, this might go pretty fast just because it is such a huge pan. I'm just gonna kind of keep that stuff off the bottom until this really starts doing what it needs to. Oh, and I was thinking about it while I took a shower. I should point out, in case you're new here, since I do kind of get a lot of new people nowadays, the whole dropping stuff in the floor, I would never serve that to anybody, but it's just me. And then, you know, Mary suggested it, so she's cool with it too. But no, if I was cooking this for you, that would not happen. We would just make a different dish. But it's us, and like, it's our fill. We're fine. But I wouldn't feed strangers my dirt. Oh yeah, this smells so good. Why is chorizo so good? I gotta learn how to do my own chorizo, man. And I'd really like to get some of that dry Spanish chorizo. I don't really quite run across it that much, if ever. And for anybody playing at home, this is a 9-ounce loaf. I don't know if that's the word you want to use. Okay. Just gonna let that work itself a little bit. This is the sink and rinse. I have dealt with dishes, or at least got all the dirties in the sink, or in the machine and whatnot. Chorizo. And we're just getting there, slowly but surely. Take about 10 minutes. Maybe less because I am in such a huge pan. Oh. I am sitting here considering putting a little olive oil in here just to help it out. Whew. Let me take that heat down to more like a medium. Yeah. Beginning to think I should just not cook today. We have not failed, but this is a bit more than I had intended. Like now I kind of wish I had done this before I showered. Getting a wee bit warm here. Whew. Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm not getting nearly as much pork fat from this as I had intended, so I am gonna hit a little extra oil in here. We're gonna use olive oil because it's what I have handy. Better. Yeah, I might have done this differently. Whew. Workout, damn. Shit. What? Constantly deglazing the pan because where's the huge pan, the oil is not super deep. Keeps wanting to stick. So it's, you know, it's a lot for a weakling like me. This might be getting close though. Yeah, this really did not leave as much fat behind as I was expecting. At this point, I'm kind of wanting to just say I will. Well, no, because then I can't now. I'm committed. All right, that's just about ready. Let me get something to put that in. So obviously this is not gonna be super vegetarian because a little bit of the meat is going to stay behind in there, which is fine for me. But you know, I'm just trying to make this interesting for Mary. Granted, she can have some of ours. She can taste these. She can do whatever she wants. She's a grown-ass woman. Right, Mary? Yeah, we might still grab some lard and put it in here because hardly any of the fat stayed behind. Can I do it before the pan burns out? Oh God, you moved everything on me. Shit. Fuck it, it's too late. This was gonna burn. I don't know why. Wendy moved all my shit down there.
I was organizing.
Well, don't organize my stuff without telling me, please, because that just really changed what I'm doing here. Sorry, I love you, but still, like, come on, man. I needed the lard, but it's too late. I had to get oil in the pan or this was gonna burn. If it was right where it needed to be, I could have got it in time. All right, we're gonna put a bunch of this onion in here. That's probably good. Save some for tacos later. All right. Look at that though. Just that alone is looking pretty good. I love you. I'm sorry if that was snappy, but you know how I get. I get a little panic in the. This is why I'm not a professional chef. Did you not hear anything I was saying? It was supposed to all be this fat, but too much of this actually cooked out, so I needed to put more fat in. So that's why it was a last minute, like, oh shit, let me just go ahead and throw some lard in after all. But you know, it's whatever, man.
Okay, please.
It's all good. All right. Get these a little bit soft, and we'll get some get this garlic minced in there. Oh, this smells really good though, the onions and all that chorizo. Now that that's sauteing, when does he say put in what seasoning? Because maybe I should put some seasoning in now. It depends. Okay, now this cumin, salt, and cayenne going with the beans. Teaspoon, quarter teaspoon. 2 cumin, 1 salt, quarter cayenne. 2 cumin, 1 salt, quarter cayenne. 2 cumin, 1 salt. 2 cumin, 1 salt, quarter cayenne. 2 cumin, quarter salt. Let me see this. 2 cumin, 1 salt, quarter cayenne. All right, so let's. I'm gonna mix that up. Let's get our spice mix going. I want 2 tablespoons. Let's get one. Let's go ahead and get 1 teaspoon. Let's go ahead and get 1 teaspoon of salt. Boom. 2 teaspoons of cumin. 1. 2. It's a little heavy, but whatever. Okay. I need that quarter. Where did I put the quarter? Where did I put the quarter? Did I just set it back down in there? I did. Let's move these. Yeah, it's just about time to get the garlic in there. All right. Cayenne. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne. All right. Let's give this a little stir in here. Okay. Good. All right, let's make a little, bring all the onions together here so I can do this in a way that my garlic won't burn too quickly. All right, start mincing. Oh, I need to get oh, I got that. All right, come on. Okay, what is your problem? Sometimes you're a real pain in the butt. There we go. So you notice right now I'm just trying to keep the garlic on top of the onions so they don't hit that pan and start burning too bad. It's the intent. Could be one downside to doing this way. I guess I could have pre-minced it all into a little ramekin. Almost there. So close, so close. One more. Okay. All right, we're gonna mix that in about 30 seconds. Oh yeah, that is fragrant. Bring all this back to the center a little. I'm going to throw in the spices a little early so we toast the spices. Real quick, light little toasting on that. Oh, it smells incredible. Okay, make way for the beans. All right, mix all that around, and I should probably be re-looking at what I'm supposed to do. Just trying to incorporate all the spices and onion mixture throughout the beans here. Put all that stuff in there. We're gonna smash. Okay. Start smashing. Actually, I have a better way of doing this. Do I want to use this and just try not to use the electric? Let's go for it. We'll probably want to get some cooking water in here, and we will be using the electric anyway, so I don't know why. There we go. Oh, jeez. You'll see, now you see why I used a bigger thing, huh? Bigger pan. All right, I'm gonna get some cooking water in here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna put some of this liquid back in here. Push this around. around some. Just to deglaze the bottom a little bit where we can. And then I've also just realized that I have a little bit of a problem in terms of, I should have been on a different burner because I don't really have the reach for the thing I want to use electrically. Get a little more bean water in there. Oh. You know, I want to thin it out some. Whew. Slaving over a hot stove all day. Yeah, that could have been good. But again, I wasn't here and you might not talk enough. It's always my concern. At least if I'm here, I can prompt you like, got anything to say or ask you questions? Or...
So you know.
Oh, well, that would have, I should have filmed it for me. Oh, Jesus. Okay, you're I am, no, I'm just boiling, so please don't add to my heat. I love you, but.
Here.
No, like, I mean, I'm just. Actually, yeah, mush a little bit. Let me grab my hand fan. I have an electric thing I was going to use here, but I just realized it's not going to reach to that burner. Although I guess I can take it off the burner for a bit at a time or two. So while you do that, let me get my thing together here. I haven't used this thing in a while.
Oh, this is steamy.
Yeah.
I think you actually do have the reach, maybe.
Maybe. Well, I don't know if I have the reach and, okay, so go over just a little bit, thank you. The reach and the maneuver room.
You want an extension cord?
Not at this point. Let's see what I got here. It might be okay, but I'm definitely gonna need that water bottle so I don't knock it the fuck over. All right, we probably need to put more liquid in there. It's getting a little, okay, so just, yeah. Let me have that, thank you. I'm glad I reserved a bunch of the liquid. All right, let's see if this will actually reach. Yeah. This probably works better in a deeper pot too, but you see we're definitely getting a much creamier. Yeah, I know, a little bit. I just, again, I'm a little out of practice on this, but I can see that it is working. Well, I mean, I'm... Okay. Oh, you should be laughing at me. No. Because I'm funny looking. I don't know. Yeah, I should have used it. I thought about using my big kettle, like big pot, instead of a pan. I should have, I think. I think in a lot of ways that would have been smarter. I mean, this is starting to look pretty good, though. And of course, you know, you can leave it a little chunky if that's what you want, but I do want a creamier paste. I think we're gonna end up putting a bunch of that water back in, the rest of that water in. Then you can always add extra water too. What I like about this though is it's also gonna kind of chop up that onion and garlic mix a little better. And if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it's an immersion blender. It's not a great immersion blender, it's an okay immersion blender. This was baby's first. He would like to get a newer one. Okay, let's get this liquid in here. I think we've just about got this. And then if you need more liquid, you can just put in regular water. But it's always good to use the starchier bean flavored water if you can. And Mary is right, it makes some really fun noises. Alright, I think we're about to give this a little taste, see what we think here. Okay, yeah, I can see that. You gonna stay? You're gonna stay. All right. Just get a sample. See if it needs some salt or anything. No, that's pretty good. One last little blend through here. All right, I'm gonna turn off my heat. Shoot, the steam has just made this impossible. I always have trouble getting this thing back off anyways. There we go. Okay. And let's get that off the heat and try to get it into something. All right, let's see. So that is a lot of beans. Use a big old wide bowl. Since it can pile, we'll use this because eventually it's it's going to go in a thing. That makes all the sense, right? You know what I mean when I say a thing? Sure. Now let's see if I can show you. I'm basically just trying to clean out a bunch of this. Save as much of this as I can. Or salvage, I guess is the word I was really looking for. I'm gonna sit right there for a minute. All right. There's a lot of beans. A lot of beans. Oh boy, this is not smart. I'm not doing this wise at all. I'm mostly just trying to get it out of the pan. Ooh. Shit. So it doesn't sit here and continue to cook in the heat. Oh, let's get this. It's a 5 quart pan, something like that. It's just heavy.
You need help?
No. At this point, I did not. I would have got a bigger spoon. I thought I was doing this differently.
You can still get bigger.
Can I? Sorry, I'm hangry because it is like fucking what? Almost 8 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet. But I've been sampling everything, so I know that it's gonna be good.
Fix this.
Thank you.
Since you've been slamming it.
Now, sometimes I gotta do stuff in a hurry. I don't. Normally, it's only when I'm cooking. You slam when I'm not cooking. We're both slammers. We listened to too much Onyx in the 90s. No giggle for that. I thought you'd give me cool points. Slam. Wasn't that Onyx? Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll deglaze that later. Use that as a serving spoon. Try to clean my shit up here a little bit.
Interesting.
I didn't over season it either. You know, I didn't want to go too heavy on the salt. I thought about adding more salt and then I didn't.
It still has some texture to it. I assume it's not supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, I could have, put more water and made it creamier, but it's like, I don't mind if it has a little chunkiness to it. Okay. So, now for one of the moments of truth. Pickles, that's what I'm looking for.
Ooh, it's smoky in here. Probably like some coffee.
Yeah. All right, let's find out if these are stale. But this haven't hurt me windy in a little while.
Yeah, I think it does fine. I mean, it's still definitely up there. It's about to take a one-way trip to serve wind.
Right. Okay. Also need to get some water in that pan. All right. I got tons of these. I just want to see if it's stale. It's not great, not super fresh, but not terrible. I can work with that. All right, so we're gonna plate me one of these puppies up and see what we think. So let's get a cool plate. What's gonna look good there? What's gonna look good there? Green. Yeah. All right. So we are gonna put one of these. It's not exactly a tostada, but kinda. And I got a cracked one. Get one that's not cracked. There we go, we'll work with you first. Really wish I had left myself some room to work here. Mary offers to help when I don't need it, and then disappears when I... I was saying it with a smile. I guess they couldn't see my face, but I was saying it with that I'm fucking with you smile. All right, let's get some beans on the tostada, or what I'm calling a tostada. I'm trying to smush it out, thin it out a little bit, nice little even layer. Should be plenty of beans. So we get some up there, some right over here. That's a good start. Let's get a little chorizo on there. I need to crumble it a little myself here. I feel like maybe I actually needed to cook more chorizo than that. All right, then let's see. What do we want next? We'll do a little pickled onion action. Oh, I didn't get the guac. I knew there was a missing one. I'm gonna take my ring off. So yeah, these are a little bit paler than they might normally be because they are a little older. Still tastes fine. Okay, that. Guacamole. Grab the sauce while I'm over the crema while I'm over here. You know, but of course, when I was planning the plate, I did not consider the guac, unfortunately. All right. A little bit more. There we go. Then we'll hit it with the crema. Oh, ooh, and I know. One last little touch. Some crumble cojita. I do like using better stuff than this, but this is just what I have. There we go. All right, let's get close up. And your close-up footage. I got a good feeling about this.
Do you know?
I do. There's no mail over there, right?
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
Thank you. And supposedly the proper way to eat something like this, you really just pick it up with your hand and do it.
And then it just crumbles everywhere.
But gotta get that thumbnail. Oh. Okay.
Definitely stay over the plate when you eat this.
Yeah. Gotta get the Guy Fieri hunch. Okay. I think I maybe went a little being heavy on this one because it's kind of overpowering, but not terribly. Definitely getting some heat. I think that's probably the Serrano and the Chipotle. Chorizo's good. Those pickled red onions, nice little zap of brightness. The green and then the greenery of the avocado and the creaminess of that and the beans and the savory of the beans. Really nice mixture.
You think you can make me up one of those sans chorizo?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a pretty happy camper with this. The crema's really good. I just realized it's probably the Chipotle sauce Taco Bell used, but you know, better.
So Eric, it's coming up on the planting season. What kind of peppers do you want this year?
Jalapeno, Serrano, habanero, banana peppers.
Hot? Do you want any sweet?
Sure. I'm gonna take both. I'm sorry, can you hand me that paper towel? I guess, and then maybe some kind of interesting one, like some off, other type of habanero or something.
Well, you didn't really. Did you ever do anything with the chocolate halves?
We do a lot of different things with the chocolate habaneros.
Because I know you didn't do anything with the white.
No, we gave those to Otter and he made that awesome sauce. But with the chocolate, he also made a bunch of the chocolate ones, but I made a chocolate Hob sauce, and I also did the tequila, infused tequila.
Oh yeah.
And I want to do an infused mezcal, so I wouldn't mind more chocolate habaneros.
Now, since Otter did something with the white habs last year, would you actually do something with them this year?
Probably not if they actually supposed to grow that small. That's just way too much of a pain to deal with something that tiny.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I liked the sauce though, it was really good.
It's not like I've ever come across like white habs in the store where you
Right.
know, it's like you have some idea of what they should look like.
Not any more than you do. We did the same research together.
Napoleon, are you looking for anything he drops is probably gonna be bad for the baby. You know that, don't you?
Like, I don't care right now. I'll care later. But yeah, it's pretty legit. I like those beans, man. The guac's okay, but the beans and the crema, that's what tonight was about. And they're a success. When did I start? I started like right after 4 o'clock.
Somewhere thereabouts, yeah.
So this took about 4 hours to get here. Eh. Oh, I saw that coming though. At least I caught it. I just like, oh, it's going.
Like a spoon or something, or
Okay. Yes, please.
small or medium?
Yes, small. Thank you. Shit. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's right. I was thinking about using some pickled habaneros on here, but that's right. That can go in like a bean burrito for me. Oh, that would be awesome. Okay. All right, I'm gonna build one for Mary, and we'll see what she thinks. Okay, here's Mary's. Sans chorizo.
Yeah, I was gonna eat where you were eating,
That's fine.
so I don't
Oh,
have to
yeah.
reach quite so far down.
Yep. Guys, you're gonna get us killed. Keep running under our feet. Let me finish I didn't quite finish my. Yeah, yours looks a little prettier. Usually prettier the second time.
All right, you ready?
I'm not gonna say this is my favorite thing ever made, but I really like this. Be aware your back end is a little past the plate.
Oh. This is nice. I can tell there's a little spice, but it's not too much.
Right. I didn't think I'd go overboard with it.
I think it actually has a pretty good balance because I don't know. There's no one thing that's really overpowering the thing.
Good.
So
Yeah, but I like that crema. And again, considering the guac we had to work, or the olives we had to work with, I think the guac turned out pretty good. Beans are nice. The pickled red onion works really well. Hey, Aaron. Aaron, that means no. When the hissing starts, the playing stops, buddy. Jack's just gonna check on her. All right, well, there you go. That's this. I'm gonna make a margarita later. Did you hear that, Mary?
you're right.
It's quiet. It's too quiet. It's all too quiet on the Western Front, which should be the title of a sequel if they ever made one to All Quiet on the Western Front. Come on, that would be so funny. Which is perfectly appropriate for that movie because that movie was hilarious. So I made Mary suffer through a war movie because it is a Best Picture nomination.
So I figure it's roughly a biannual Wars Hell nomination.
Yeah, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm not excited to watch it again necessarily, but I loved it. And I've seen the original. The original is one of the first movies I ever remember being shown in school, and like I really liked the original. But man,
See, I never saw the original.
so apparently this is actually very close to the original. It's just the first time it's actually been told, and it's I learned a little bit about it last night. So it was a book written in 1929, and then they made it into a movie, very famous movie in 1930. Of course, they made it all English and all that, like English people speaking and all that kind of stuff. But
see, I assumed it was on. See, never watched the movie, never really heard a synopsis of it. I hear people reference it occasionally, but I just assumed it was from the Allied side of things, just because it was an English movie.
Well, and this is also one of the things that always made this famous, was it was a reminder that all sides think they're the hero, and war is just hell for everybody on the ground, and it's always the same on everybody's side, and it's always the poor and the indoctrinated that suffer the most. And this is a very, very excellent rendition of it. It is gripping. It's 2.5 hours. We watched it in German with subtitles, but honestly, you could watch the English dub because there's not a lot of dialogue in here. There's maybe, I can think of 3 or 4 scenes that were actual full dialogue scenes, and a lot of other stuff is, just yelling something here or there, a couple quick lines. It's very beautifully done in that regard. And the performances are fantastic. The set design, the costumes, the makeup is very standout to me in this. And I don't just mean the gore, because yes, there is some gore in here. It's not quite Saving Private Ryan bad, but there are some moments that are like that. It is a little more restrained in that regard. And this did feel like a cross between 1917 and Saving Private Ryan. But I'm just talking about like the dirt and the grit and the grime that you see on these people throughout almost the entire movie and stuff. A lot of that is like standout, impressive, and like gorgeous in its own work of art at times. Particularly near the end, the one character with all the cakey mud, like you could sell like art prints of just his face like that. Like it was fascinating to look at. But yeah, I mean, crazy story. It is mostly based on a true story. I mean, obviously some liberties have been taken here or there. And, World War I, man, crazy. Fucking politicians and stupid bullshit. Greedy Germans. I'm not saying Germans greedy now, I'm just saying at the time, they just wanted it all. And then it only got worse. Which is crazy, because if you think about it, that movie came out before World War II happened.
Yeah.
And that also, the original is almost 100 years old.
Ooh.
That's a fun thought. It is 93 years old, the original movie. And
Yeah.
still good.
It's just one of those movies that's like, this is what you need to show people who actually want to join the army.
If that would have worked, it would have worked years ago. People see these movies all the time and they still go do it.
I don't see.
Now,
I don't
economic
think a lot
reasons
of
and
young
stuff, I understand,
kids, 18-year-olds.
They watch war movies. They grew up. They've seen war movies. Now, granted, you're probably right. They probably see a lot more of the patriotic, regardless of what country you're in, whatever patriotic is for you. The more gun-ho stuff, and think, yeah, let's do it. As we would say here, America.
War is swell versus war is hell.
Yeah, but I think anybody understands that it's not a pleasant thing. And unfortunately, because we haven't found our way past it as a society, it is still a sort of, I don't want to say a necessary evil, because it's not really necessary, but because not everybody is always going to agree to not do it. So as long as one country is doing it, then it kind of becomes necessary for the other countries, so they don't get overrun, and it's fucking nuts, man. But it also shows that indoctrination and like that, like how as a youth you're easily done. And I really like the opening to this too, the tracking of the uniforms and stuff. I don't want to say more if you haven't seen it, but yeah, I thought it might be a little quiet, pun not intended, or maybe a little slow or dull in places, but no, this puppy just starts and it roars through the entire movie.
Yeah, so I don't like these kind of movies, but I will say it's well done.
Yeah, and again,
it's just like, I don't need to watch it again.
Right, and that was the deal I made with her, is she desperately doesn't want to watch The Whale and all these other Oscar movies. I was like, well, okay, I'll tell you what, I will let you off the hook for most of them if you promise you'll at least watch all the Best Picture nominations. So that's why she ended up having to see this one.
Yeah.
And why I'm probably going to make her watch Top Gun Maverick, which for some reason she's very hesitant about as well.
I never could get myself pumped up to watch the original Top Gun, so...
But anyways, we got one more to get all the Best Pictures in, Women Talking. Also, we are doing some foreign films and all that. There's a slim chance I might still watch every single thing. We're also starting on short films. And we are probably live streaming our reaction to the Oscars. I know I haven't really promoted it, so we'll see. I know we're all going to be watching it. I'm tempted to just half-ass it and just do it off a phone. I just don't want to set up all that gear and lock the kitties in the basement. Because they're getting locked in the basement, because you know what happened last year? People got mad at us for not having a reaction to one of the great Oscar memory, well, you know, great, because we thought the cats had knocked the volume out when really they were just censoring the volume of the show, and then we missed everything, so. But anyways, that's our thoughts on All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Inappropriate. All right, so Mary and I also have started watching a lot of the best foreign films, so we picked up one of the shorter ones and we watched EO, the letters EO. And
Michael Jackson has gotten so weird.
This is a weird choice of a remake. I can't believe they replaced Michael Jackson with a donkey. That's what I was going for. That's what I was looking up. Is like, was it called Captain EO? And I was like, it was. It has nothing to do with Captain EO and Michael Jackson. We're just making dumb jokes. It is about a donkey. Literally about a donkey. That is literally the star of the movie. So much fetishized shots in slow motion of animals. Because the whole thing, and it's going to be hard not to do spoilers because we have questions, but we'll get to it. The whole thing is like, basically it's this donkey's point of view and how he ends up in these different situations and kind of looks at humans like, they're weird. This group of people's doing a weird thing. This group of people's doing a weird thing. And the annoying thing is a lot of those groups of people sometimes get very interesting and leave you on a cliffhanger and never resolve any of it because it's not really the point of the movie. And you're like, but I want to see that movie. What was that? I have questions.
I was like, has somebody gone and written fan fiction?
Just to finish out some of those sequences.
Yeah, so we watched this the same night when we watched All Quiet on the
Right
Western
after.
Front.
Mm-hmm.
So we went from war as hell to people suck.
Yeah, which this is very much about, but I think that's sort of my problem with this. I didn't really care for... initially, I really disliked this movie. As it went along, it did hook me with some of those things. Like I said, like, oh, what? I want to know more. And then ultimately, especially because we don't want to say anything specific about the ending, but it has an ending. And, at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I guess I'm glad I can say that I watched that and I've had that experience, but I have no interest in that ever again. And I do not think it's the winner. I mean, we've only seen 2 foreign nominated films so far, and that's those 2. Because All Quiet is one of those that's nominated for foreign and Best Picture. And so far, definitely All Quiet.
Are nominated.
They did not submit.
But their best song.
Oh, they submitted song, but they didn't submit for any other categories.
Why not?
They didn't believe in it. They should have believed in it.
Oh my!
I know.
How far in advance do they have to submit?
I don't know.
Because
Let's move on. Let's talk about
it was
EO.
a hit off the bat.
Yes, I agree. But EO, so...
But I'd rather talk about her.
I would too, but I want to wrap up EO so we can go watch another foreign film.
Just because it only has one more...
Yeah, it has one more letter. I'm bad influence on you. Hi!
Look at this meepy girl. She's like,
They can't see her.
You know. You can hear her. Oh, sorry. So, there are some satisfying moments in it. We obviously could not help ourselves from making some jokes about donkey shows in the start. And especially, oh, by the way, if you got epilepsy or something, they don't really warn you, but it is stroby as fuck, especially in the beginning. But I did start wondering, wait, are we starting out actually on a donkey show? And technically... But yeah, it's one of those 2. I just think my problem with this is it's so obvious and heavy-handed. Like, it's not being subtle about its message. It has nothing new to say about its message. It's confused in its messaging sometimes because it's like, people are weird, people suck. Hey, let's treat animals better. They even kind of have like text at the end about we made this film because we want you to treat animals better. And it's like, yeah, no, we know. Like, we get it. I don't know that you're changing anybody's mind. Maybe you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
and God, it's just like, and you want to talk about some whiplash in some of our. It's just like, so donkey fast traveled to new location.
Yeah, there is some times where like time passage is pretty rapid, and then again, there's at least 2 human stories in this that leave on like what excuse me, what was about to happen there? Or wait, what did that happen? That was completely random and what? So basically the trucker
Pornhub.
The trucker section and the priest section. If you watch the movie, you now know what we're talking about. But it's at least it's a tight, short 88 minutes, so it wasn't like terribly boring or anything. But yeah, I'm good with that.
Ibit is doing almost the perfect cat.
Yeah. Is there any? I don't want to hit any addresses.
She's doing like the where the person has to hold the other person back, and then the cat sitting at the table.
Ow, ow, you're digging in. Ow. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, we gotta go love on Itty Bit. That's enough about EO. We might talk about what movie we watch here in a minute. We'll see. Otherwise, it's next week. Bye. All right, so The Last of Us. You know what really sucked about this episode? Finding out next week's the finale. Other than that, it was another fantastic episode. And again, it made me cry. It waited all the way to the very end, but it made me cry. And again, another incredibly faithful adaptation of that section of the game. Some small changes, but again, everything works for what they did. And Joel definitely had an extra little badassery moment of, I believe him. So you know what I'm talking about. And of course, that whole thing with Ellie, oh my God. And then seeing the actual video game Joel get a decent part in this too. And then what happens with Ellie. So all that is really cool. And again, watching it with my dad and him not knowing the story from the game, I definitely, in some of those earlier scenes in the dining hall, got a little bit more out of it than he probably did until in hindsight he found out. And it was just great, man. And Ellie's, I don't want to say things. I don't want to spoil it. In case, why would you be watching this if you don't want it spoiled? But yeah, the whole fire in that place looked great. The whole her hiding out, trying to sneak around him, straight out of the game. Loved that. I love the idea that, again, spoilers for this if you haven't seen it. I'm keeping it very, very vague, but this is still kind of spoilery. That she, you kind of expect her to get saved, but she saves herself. But then what they said on the behind the scenes, that then Joel shows up and kind of saves her emotionally. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that is kind of what happened, because she could have been lost after that, just, up in her own craziness. So, so all that was fantastic. Ellie is so much fun in this and so beautifully cast. So I don't know why people had such a problem with this. I mean, yes, she doesn't look exactly like the original game, but man, she's a fantastic actor, especially at her age. And she is just her and Joel, both, everybody in the show, killer performances they've been giving. So, but I can't believe next week is the last one. I thought we'd get 2 more, but I'm hoping it's at least like the opening episode. Maybe this will be an hour and 20, so we get a little bit more, because there's a lot to be done, honestly, in this last episode. So kind of anxious to see where it goes and how we kind of leave off and set up for the next season, which will probably be a couple years away, sadly. Of course, that'll leave me plenty of time to go play the game. So, because I still have not played part 2. I know the big spoiler, unfortunately, but, I think it'll still be a good time. So it's always more fun when things aren't spoiled, but just because they get spoiled doesn't totally ruin the experience. It just lessens it for me. But yeah, another great episode of The Last of Us, and I can't wait to see one more, but then I'm gonna be sad it's gone, because it's been one of the best shows out there. Just plain general, not even just best video game adaptation, which it by far is. It's one of the best shows on television, and it's crazy because so many people, I guess kind of understandably, went into this thinking they were gonna get a zombie show. And it's like, man, the monster stuff has barely been a factor in this show, other than just the world it's created. But I really appreciate that about it. So I'm really surprised how little of all of that we've seen. But it works. It totally works. All right, well, that's my thoughts on The Last of Us. We'll talk about the finale next week. And cool. I guess I'm going to get on out here so I can go watch some more stuff. Bye. Unboxing Vanilla Records. No, we do this. I still subscribe to vinyl. I think it's like, I don't know, they upped the shipping, so it's probably like $45 for 3 records now. I do curated. I don't know much about any of these. I have not really had a chance to listen to a lot lately, because I've been having to prime the Spotify pumps. But let's see what we get this time. I mean, sometimes they send me something really, really cool. So, and often they've turned me on to bands I never knew about. So, hi, Mary.
Hi.
So, ooh, this is a cool cover art. Rebel Union Recordings, Warbly Jets, Monster House. The cops are coming to get us. Cool. Next up we have Lakes. I think I've heard of them. Start again. Includes download code. If this is who I think it is, it's pretty good. So that's nice. And then we have third, last but not least, we get Alana Royal. So bad you can taste it. Deep R&B and soul. Why are you sending me R&B and soul? That is not my jam. I mean, it's okay. Let's see if they have a good reason for why they sent that to me on my card. I did choose curated, yeah? Yeah, I'm sure I did. All right, here's that. If you want to pause and actually take a look at it. Here's this. They aren't really doing anything fancy with these lately. Hey, Eric. This time around, we've got you bombastic Poppy Arena ready alt rock from Warbly Jets on our exclusive color. Nice. Next, a record of self-progression, taking influence from Midwestern emo, okay. Math rock and alternative on Start Again by Lake. So that sounds like who I'm thinking they are. Finally, Nashville's own R&B/soul star Alana Royal with So Bad You Can Taste It, packed with a blaring brass section and funky guitars. It's all hard hitter with no misses. Cheers. Brandy. That is actually Branby. That is a B. Cool. Except, what the fuck makes anybody over there think I care about funk or soul? I mean, I don't dislike funk or soul necessarily, but it's not something I'm collecting. So this has got to be something different or interesting. Otherwise, that's rather disappointing. So sometimes they miss. Sometimes they hit. Sometimes they miss. All right, that's your unboxing this time. Hey, we're gonna do a taste test. We're gonna taste things and test them and test our tastings, because we taste things to test them when we do a taste test, right? Mm-hmm. Testies. We're testing testes. Testy taste test. All right, ready, Mary? Zip. You want to start with the savory? Because we have a bunch of sweets.
Yeah, let's start with the savory.
And I feel bad for doing this for her, where she's kind of off the sweets right now, but we found some new things. I found some new things today, and I could not. But anyways, we've had these for a while, and I just thought, let's try these. Mushroom crisps, sea salt. 300 calories for this whole bag that I'm sure costs way more than it should. No idea if they're still good.
Do you even remember where you got them from?
I think Kroger. Best by November 23rd of last year.
See, this is why I stopped buying food for him at all.
It smells funky. Smells fungi. So it is literally just like air dehydrated like mushrooms.
Yeah. I was going to drop it. I felt a cat around me.
Whoa. I have 8 fingers. I don't know, man.
They taste burnt.
They
Salty and burnt is what I'm tasting.
I can't say I like these. I mean, they definitely taste like mushrooms. And I like mushrooms.
Grow on me?
Only if you don't shower for a while.
But yeah, I mean, they even kind of look burnt, actually. I guess they toasted them.
Maybe. Ready to step up your snack life? Meet our sea salt mushroom crisp. Brown and white North American Monterey mushrooms are freshly hand-picked, then low temperature crisp to ensure they're perfectly crunchy and packed full of vital nutrients. Bursting with delicious umami flavor, your taste buds are sure to swoon for these savory shrooms.
Now, these could be interesting, like in a ramen bowl.
Kind of rehydrating them, or maybe like in a salad. Yeah, I'm good. I don't like this.
I feel like this is drinking food.
I was wondering too, like if I'd had some beers.
Or it might be that they're just past their prime and because, you know.
But it's not that I'm like tasting like they're not fresh or something. It's just.
Well, you don't know how they're supposed to taste. That's the problem.
I know what mushrooms taste like. They're just crisp mushrooms with salt, man. Let's see. So now we have this other thing that's been in there for a while.
Best by November of 2023.
Oh, so these are still good. Gingerbread Kit Kats.
It's just surprising.
Gingerbread cookie Kit Kats.
There's no water.
Now, do you want your own or do you want to split this?
I'll just give me my own.
Okay. So, we like Kit Kats. I believe that's your favorite candy bar, isn't it? Or it's
I'm
at
not
least
sure
one
if
of?
It's one of. I think my favorite might actually be a Mounds bar.
Yeah, Mountain's pretty damn good. It's got that slightly more gingerbready color, less chocolatey color. Smells
good.
very gingery.
It smells like chemical ginger, but
You know.
No, sorry.
Trying to synchronize.
movie.
No, I'm just trying to synchronize our chewing.
It's not too different from their pumpkin pie one.
Definitely same vein, yeah. But,
But this is much better than the matcha ones that I got.
okay, fair enough. Good. I can't say I'm like, oh my god, I must have those at all times. But, definitely edible. Okay. Which of these three do you want to start with? We got 3 more things.
Let's start with the M&Ms.
Okay, those particularly?
Yeah.
So they only had 1 bag left of these. I'm thinking these are new for Easter. And I can't say I'm a huge white chocolate fan, I
I'm
just
trying to
realized.
go like which one it's gonna be like the least strong to strongest flavor.
Got you. But we got white chocolate, marshmallow, crispy treats. So like, you know, Rice Krispies treats in white chocolate and an M&M.
Now there is like a crispy M&M, right? Like a
Yeah.
standard-
Yeah, but this is supposed to be more like a marshmallowy, treaty thing. I don't know what you want here. I don't want to over...
Oh,
Here,
that's
give me
good.
some extras. Because I know... I'll just put them back in the bag, too. I don't quite need this many.
They're smaller than I expected.
Yeah. Whoop. That one's not going back in the bag.
I think I strained a muscle trying to.
Oh,
catch
no.
everything.
I'm gonna throw the 2 white ones in there. Mmm. 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 Hi, Jiggy Jack. These are not for you, buddy. Oh, look, he's like, can I please have? Buddy, I don't think these are
No.
good for you, buddy.
No, I'm gonna throw this
Oh,
one
that was
over,
so
but-
sweet. He was like crawling up my leg and like, bring your hand down, let me see.
I'm
Mmm. Okay. I kind of love these.
I need to take like a big handful because I feel like they're so tiny, I'm not getting much in a single bite.
I'm definitely getting that marshmallow crispy treat flavor in here. I kind of wish they would do this with regular chocolate though, but those are fucking awesome. That's definitely one I love. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the crispy M&Ms that much, but this, Oh, that's awesome.
It's not bad.
Okay.
I'm not terribly impressed though.
I'm trying to keep you from eating too much since you're not supposed to really be doing junk food.
Yeah.
All right, hold on me. Didn't know you were gonna hand it off. These sounded awesome to me. Vanilla frosting filled Hershey's Kisses. Just like me. Full of white cream. White creamy goodness. For Mary to eat.
You need scissors, son?
No, I'm just trying to be careful. I'm trying to be delicate because I don't know why I'm trying to be delicate. Why don't I just... There. Little fancy. I miss the pumpkin spice kisses. They never made those. They only made them like that 1 year.
Honestly, with all the pumpkin spice whatever, I'm surprised they didn't come back.
I know, because they were really good. Yo, no. I really shouldn't have bought those. Because I'm going to eat them. That chocolate and vanilla, once it starts, it's not super apparent, but it kind of starts melding together and you're getting that kind of vanilla-iness with the chocolate.
Honestly, I don't think this is hitting for me.
That is hitting for me. That is most definitely hitting for me. Oh man.
Yeah.
One more. And I think this is the one Mary's most excited for. As soon as I saw it, I was like, screams Mary. We have M&M's caramel cold brew. Right?
Yep.
Ah, shit, let's get tear the Ziploc off on that one. Maybe.
Scissors.
Mary! Mary! See, they scream Mary. That's a dumb joke.
I like that these are much bigger to start with.
They're caramel M&M size, and they have that slight chewy caramel M&M. Oh my god.
Now the caramel M&Ms are your favorite.
Well, technically second favorite. Peanut M&M is my favorite, but I almost never have peanut M&M because they are insanely caloric. So caramel tends to be my favorite in the sense that it's my second favorite, and I'll eat that like crazy. If you like caramel M&Ms, that's what these are, but also with the flavor of coffee. So it is literally a coffee caramel M&M, and this just surpassed the regular caramel M&Ms for me. This is my new go-to for as long as it'll exist. Oh my god, that is so good.
You need to mix these in with the fudge brownie ones.
That could work. That could work. Just thank God they don't make cashew M&Ms.
That'd be insanely expensive.
And caloric and amazing. Because actually, I guess, what do I think? Where do almond M&Ms go for me? Because they're up there with peanut. But honestly now, probably fourth, because caramel cold brew, and then caramel, and then almond. Then fudge brownie. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then maybe these crispy ones, these new ones, Rice
I think
Krispie
the
treats.
fudge brownies are still my favorite. Although these might be a very, very close second.
Yeah. But there are missing ones too, like ones they don't make anymore. Like what was the was it like a hazelnut one or something, or there was like a toffee one?
There's like, yeah, a toffee one. That was pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome.
It may have been a coffee toffee.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, there was a honey nut one too that was really, really good. Yo, the 3 things I brought home today, exquisite. There you go, taste test. Woo! All right, let's do this music update because there's not a lot to it. So again, reminder, new album, March 24th, 2023, The Mary EP Part 1. Very excited. Haven't got to get back to work on Part 2 yet for a few reasons. One, I ended up like a whole weekend like head cold. I'm fine now, I'm pretty much over it. You know, just the last little vestiges left, but so that kind of put me down. And then also, Oscars are coming up, and I want to catch up on a bunch of those movies, and I wanted to get ready for the new Scream movie by rewatching some of those. And I desperately needed to do more of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Horror pack stuff, because I need to get some of those out. I've fallen way behind. So I've decided to take this week to go to Pound Town on a bunch of movies, and that's what I'm doing. And so, got a bunch of music stuff should be coming in today, so I think we'll have a much more exciting, or this week, so we'll have a much more exciting music update next week, and then hopefully by then I'll actually be to making some new tunes. So, yeah, I think that's probably that. I think that's it. So I got posters coming in for El Loco, some other stuff. We'll be starting to ship some CDs soon. I know I've had at least one order. Granted, I haven't really put it out there yet because I'm waiting on some stuff to come in this month to finally finish my store, my new store. Yeah, guitars, whatnot. Okay, I guess that's it. That's the music update. Like I said, there was not a lot between last week and this week, so just more promotion that's kind of working, I guess, maybe a little. Not as much as it needs to. let's talk about something else. Hey everybody, all right, so we're here to do a cocktail. It's been a little bit. It is 1:28 a.m. March 5th, technically the 4th. Mary's scooping the kitty poops before she goes to bed, but we're gonna make a drink for this vlog. Had more Mexican food earlier today based on that bean and chorizo and stuff. I made like a Taco Bell Mexican pizza style, but I did the bean and chorizo between those two corn tortillas with a slice of pepper jack. On top, put some Valentina, some Tillamook Mexican 4-cheese blend, iced fresh jalapeno pickled onions in the oven, 400 degrees, 8 minutes. Pulled it out, hit it with some cilantro and that Chipotle crema and a little cojita. Wow. Also made an incredible quesadilla, 10-inch flour tortilla, a little oil in the pan. Loaded it with the Tillamook 4-cheese, some of my buffalo chicken, about half a thigh diced up, and a little bit of cilantro, more of that crema, some cojita, but I'd leave the cojita out, honestly, and fried that up a little bit on some low heat so it really melt with the lid on and everything. So we had all that. Now we're gonna make another cocktail. We're gonna make a margarita. We're gonna make it from the Trejo Tacos book. I forgot he has cocktails in here. There's some really good ones I need to try. Today we're doing the Cucumber Cilantro Margarita. So this is gonna be really nice. We're gonna have to muddle a little too. So we're gonna use a little kosher salt. Actually, I'm gonna use my rimming salt because that's what they ask it for. 4 thin slices of cucumber, plus a 1/4-inch thick slice for garnish. We'll get to that. 2 sprigs of fresh cilantro, got it. Half a cup of ice cubes. Okay, I didn't really measure like that. 2 ounces of silver tequila. We got the 1800 silver here, like we do. 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. I did some, I didn't spill it. Half an ounce of agave syrup. Maybe not the best agave in the world, but we got some. And then it says half an ounce or 1 tablespoon of Bowls triple sec. I don't have that, so I'm just using my Cointreau as I do. Hopefully that won't be too big a deal. So that's what we're working with. Let me, hopefully, okay, yeah. Let me bring the camera down. Let's make a drink. Sorry for the angle. How's that? That looks pretty good. All right, you see, when I did my lime, I kept me a little bit so I could do this part here. So let's start by salting our rims. So of course, we need a cocktail shaker. Let's get the salt out. I need to clean my salt out. Got a little lime juice in there. Not my best wedge, but again, I was trying to, do something a little different here. So I'm just gonna use this to, ooh, it's a little juicier than I anticipated, honestly, but that's fine. I don't mind bits of lime, but I'm trying to keep it so it doesn't go out into the salt. There we go, got a salted rim. We're just gonna set that to the side and get this out of the way. Because we're done with it. And we are done with this. Okay. Okay, so that's how you do the salt the rim. Shallow bowl with water, small plate, pour a circle of salt. Dip the rim of the rocks glass or margarita glass in the water and dip into the salt and set it aside. I did that. I'm using a rocks glass because that's what they did in the picture. So, in the bottom of a cocktail shaker, we're gonna muddle 4 cucumber slices with 1 cilantro sprig. So it says thin slices. They show it with skin on. I made these just because they're an awesome snack, especially with tahini or hot sauce. So I'm gonna say that that's thin. It is the thick cut on the mandolin. That's 4 slices. Some a little thinner than others. We'll use some of that in a minute for putting in the actual drink. My muddler. Just wipe it off. I forgot Mary muddled cherries with it. Oh, cherries. Back in the bourbon days, but that's fine. I figure it should be fine. We're just giving a little bit of a, All right, so we just wanna, let's see. Until the cucumber releases most of its juices and the cilantro is smashed and fragrant. With 1 sprig of cilantro. So I've got a nice, I think I'm gonna get more flavor out of that and we'll use the other one for the garnish. So we're gonna throw that in there, just gently, I guess, I don't know, I'm learning it. I see how this is working. I do see the cucumber juices kind of juicing out with the cilantro juices. I feel like the couple of slices underneath we're having a little harder time. See if we can get a little juice from the back side. Oh yeah, definitely getting the fragrance of the juice. And this is all going in the drink, so you know, you don't want to make it look totally massacred. Okay. I'm gonna say that's good. Rinse that off again. Okay, so we got the muddling done. Now, and then this helps you out in the off, because again, I'm still learning how to muddle, so I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not, but smashed and fragrant. Add the ice cubes. So half a cup of ice cubes, all right. Again, you're not straining this, it is going into the drink, so I'm gonna try and get this fairly accurate. Of course, you know, it doesn't really account for the size, because what is that? It's like 4 ice cubes? 5 ice cubes? I'm gonna call that 5 ice cubes. And put those in there. All right, tequila, lime juice, syrup, and triple sec. So everything else that goes in here, we're now putting in here. So we're all over on this side. 2 ounces of silver tequila. We're gonna start there. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Do you want me to, here? You know what? Hang on.
As soon as I walk up, he's like,
Well, it's way more dynamic if somebody films it. So, hold on. Thank you, Mary. All right, so we're gonna put in the 2 ounces. I've already muddled my cucumbers, got the ice, the cilantro in there. So we're gonna put in 2 ounces of silver tequila. Maybe, eventually. There we go. Guess I'm getting near the end of the bottle here. Here we go, 2 ounces of tequila. It'll make you stronger, because it ain't gonna tequila ya. All right, 1 ounce of the lime juice, sticky icky. I don't mind if I get a little extra, because I do like my lime juice. Half an ounce of agave, half an ounce of triple sec. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in half an ounce of the triple sec. Ooh, crap, that started pouring before I was ready for it. It's a tiny bit more than half an ounce, but not by a lot. And then half an ounce of the agave syrup. And boom. I'm gonna put that all in there. And I think that is, yeah, that's all the ingredients. Okay, we're gonna cover and shake vigorously for 4 seconds and then pour the whole thing into the glass. We're not straining. Put in, garnish a cucumber and cilantro. All right, it says 4 seconds. Yeah, I got it over there, I'm good. All right, vigorously though. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Because you don't want to break down your ice too much. I might have gone a little over, but I can tell it actually got real cold real fast. So again, we're not straining it. We don't need fresh ice. It just all goes in the glass. Smells really good, actually. Feels like it could have more in it. Hesitant to put this down because I'm gonna make another one of these. I got a really good feeling. So we're gonna garnish it with a couple of slices of cucumber here. And then a fresh sprig of cilantro. And that is the cocktail. Ooh, pretty, foamy, salty, beautiful. Smells good. It definitely smells like cucumber and cilantro. I know not everybody loves cilantro. I love cilantro. I'm sorry if you have that thing where you can't taste it and make it taste good.
I think it tastes like soap if you have that thing.
Yeah, the way you phrased that though, I thought you were saying it tastes like soap. I'm like, why do you let me keep putting it in your food? All right. I've had a bottle of wine. Mmm. Mmm.
Very good, huh?
Holy shit, hold on. I want to try it with a little less salt, because I want to know.
I wanna know what you're thinking.
Make love to me, machete. Mmm.
This is from Trejo's book?
Yeah, from Trejo's Tacos, but Jesus Christ, that is my flavor jam right there. That is.
Okay, I want to try it.
Okay, let me, I like that quite a bit.
Interesting. Okay, I can actually taste the cucumber. It's very, very subtle for me,
But it's there, right? And a hint of the cilantro. It's
I'm
pretty
not sure
subtle.
about the cilantro.
I think it's pretty subtle, but maybe I could have muddled it better, but yeah, I had to muddle. I rinsed it and kind of wiped it. I mean, it's fine by now, I'm sure. I don't taste any cherry, so I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, I'd drink one.
Right? That's really good. Yeah, I could have another one of those pretty easily. So there you go. Again, another great book. By the way, he's got some other ones in here, and we will try this someday. If I forget, well, I would like to try the red chili, but if I forget, I need y'all to remind me that pineapple cinnamon margarita needs to happen. All right, well, there's the drink. I love it. I'm gonna go enjoy it, and we're gonna feed the kids and let Mary go to bed. All right. There you go. That is the vlog for this week. I just shot a couple of trailers late because I didn't want to wait on them. Also, I just want to throw this out there real quick. Maybe we'll give you the review for Knock at the Cabin. I thought we had done it. We had not. We did watch that. Mary liked it more than me. Especially didn't like the ending. But whatever. Performances were great. That's the simple version. Excuse me. Want to make another one of those margaritas. Maybe muddle some jalapeno in there too. Could be amazing. You did not see the day after we made the beans and everything that I made a gourmet version of the Taco Bell Mexican pizza. I use those same kind of tostadas, bean and chorizo mixture, sliced pepper jack, another tostada, Valentina hot sauce, Tillamook Mexican 4 cheese on there, some diced fresh jalapeno and pickled red onion, and baked all that and then hit it with cilantro and that crema, which is amazing. And some cojita cheese. It was awesome. Then also used some of that leftover buffalo chicken, a bunch more of the Tillamook cheese, more of that crema, little cilantro, little cojita, and made an incredible, on a flour tortilla, 10-inch, made an incredible quesadilla that Mary helped me with. Then tonight, we got some, I just got in the mood for fish, so I just bought some frozen fish and air fried it. Did those Gorton's like beer battered fillets. I put one of those with some lettuce and that crema in a flour tortilla as a taco. I did it twice. It's awesome. Very recommended. So that crema, make that shit. Okay, other than that though, I hope you're all in. Got some cool stuff coming in this week. I'm just going to talk about stuff next week. I got to get to watching some movies and doing some editing though. So thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. I really need to get in here and break all this shit down and start building out some of the music stuff we're going to do in here. You know, we've talked about that. Just a million things, but I'm watching a crap ton of movies right now, getting excited for Scream. We'll talk about that next week. So I'm going to get on out of here, but let me know what you think. Comment below, all that and more. I do love to hear what you have to say. I read everything. I know I don't respond to a lot, but I do read everything. And hopefully we'll do this Oscar stream next Sunday. And yeah, so click the thumbs up button. Give me the good old thumb of encouragement, as I do love to be encouraged, and try to find this camera angle here. And of course, remember that we will get through this. We will get through this together. I'm going to go enjoy some pasta night tomorrow. Maybe get a haircut hopefully someday soon if I can find time. And check out my music, TheEricButts.com, linktree.com/TheEricButts, and of course the new EP, the Mary EP Part 1 is out March 24th, 2023 at midnight Eastern Time. Please support that, especially on Spotify. That would help me immensely. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here so I can go do a bunch of editing and do other stuff. I guess I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Love y'all. Bye.